Estamos, familia, muy buenas tardes, bueno, buenos días a todos y a todas. Vamos a empezar la sesión de hoy. Básicamente, pues bueno, tenemos esta idea alcista activa ya con Bitcoin. Pues bueno, vamos a ir con ello. La verdad que es una idea bastante clara. En temporalidad de M5 tenemos una regla de tercer impulso alcista. Que sea clara no significa que obligatoriamente tenga que irse al exit. Eso, pues bueno, ya lo sabemos de carrera, pero bueno.
Yo, what is good, family? Hope you all are having an amazing day. In today's video, as you saw on the breakdown, on the intro of the video, we're gonna break down the setup we had this morning on the London Open. As you saw, I had a few drawings because I just finished the Spanish video. So yeah, let's kick it off. I mean, we had a beautiful win, the first win of the week with Bitcoin, so it's gonna be like a good breathe of fresh air, you know, with Bitcoin. Euro has been playing out amazing, but Bitcoin at least gave us a beautiful setup this morning live with the students. So let's put the replay mode on the 9 a.m., basically 8:59, and let's break it down. As always, we go with the first question of everything. Where are we coming from? A lot of you guys will think that we are coming from this bullish structure, and you're not that wrong, all right? I mean, as we broke down yesterday, we want to go from the inner layers to the layers that are on the outside, from the inside to the outside. And is this the detail that will make you to always take the first setup of the day, of the session, better said? Because I can say, oh, I see this high as a good level for, let's say, a rule of the third impulse, for example. But perhaps the market is giving me a long earlier, and I'm so focused on this level that I'm not even looking at the inner layers. And that's basically what you guys have to focus on. You have to focus first on the inner layers and then go to the outside. So yeah, we can mark this up and say low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and BOS, right? We can do that, but at the end of the day, right at the open of the session, which is right here at 9 a.m., market is not doing this. Market is doing this, and this is where you guys have to focus on. Yeah, this is good, but this will be our focus if, first of all, we don't have anything right here. So let's analyze that portion of the market, which is very simple, all right? We don't have any internal structure, weird stuff. We just have low, high, higher low, higher high. That's literally everything. So now we go for 9 a.m. We mark up the last low and the last high. Last low is a higher low. Therefore, we go for a break of a structure. It doesn't need any type of confirmation, verification. We just set up the sell stop, all right? Now, we go for the high, the next level, which is a higher high. Therefore, we will go for a bullish rule of the third impulse. Now, the BOS doesn't need any verification, but the rule of the third impulse does. The rule of the third impulse needs you to check if we have two pullbacks already. If you have two pullbacks already, fantastic. We can go for the rule of the third impulse. If you don't have two pullbacks, you have to wait, okay, for you to put the pending order. So we have to check it out. Let's check it. First impulse, first pullback. Why? Because this candle is not breaking previous candle's high. Therefore, we understand that although this is a bullish candle, we have a pullback. We have a bearish movement from this high to this low. Now, second impulse. This candle actually breaks this high. Therefore, we have a sharp movement to the upside followed by a pullback. So this will be the second pullback. Why? Because this is a bearish candle on a bullish trend. That's the most important thing. All right, we are on a bearish candle inside of a bullish trend. So that means that the bullish impulse already came to its end and the second pullback just started. Now, this is the candle that confirms the pullback. Keep this in mind. This is the candle that confirms the second pullback. So now we just set up the buy stop. We have the buy stop and the sell stop. We have both. Therefore, we just wait. All right. Opening candle. Let's see. Now, this candle is extremely important because if you saw yesterday's video, in fact, if you have not seen any of the videos that we have been uploading on the session, on the channel, guys, you have the playlist at the description of this video, right? You will have all the playlists with all the videos over there. So you can see all the details because you will see that the specific details that I break down on the videos repeat themselves again and again and again. And this is one of those. The same candle that makes the low makes the high and gives the entry. But if you see the videos, you will see that this is not valid on a BOS. But on a rule of the third impulse, you have to make sure only about one thing, and one thing only. Is that candle also the candle that confirms the pullback? We broke this down yesterday. This is not the candle that confirms the pullback. The candle that confirms the pullback is this. This candle is only extending the pullback a little bit deeper, and that's it. All right? So the fact that, you know, this candle is making the real higher low is pointless. Because the important thing is this candle making the second pullback or is just making it deeper, right? That's the real question for a rule of the third impulse. So in this case, this buy was completely valid. This candle makes the pullback deeper and then goes to the upside, confirming and activating the bullish rule of the third impulse. Automatically, we close the sell stop. We cancel the pending order to the downside and we stick to this. Now, after breaking to the upside and creating a third impulse, we just wait. All right, you started analyzing at 8:55, at 9 a.m. your entry goes active. You can do your day. All right, 5 minutes of trading day, that's good. You have your stop, you have your exit, you do your day. And now we just wait. Eventually, this was an exit. Market has struggled a little bit, but eventually price hit the exit. Now, this is also a good detail. Based on my data and around 800, 900 trades of live data that I have in my journal with Bitcoin with this exact same strategy, and around 300, 400 trades of live data that I have with this strategy on the EURUSD. They showed something that really impressed me, and it's basically that the bigger exits are not a good idea for Bitcoin. I thought, because look, I've been trading Bitcoin since 2020, right? Actually trading, not buying on a spot or on a portfolio, actually doing intraday and scalping and sometimes swing. But based on my experience, because mainly I've traded 1 minute time frame and so on and so forth, and I've always seen Bitcoin with more volatility. But basically, when I created this strategy, I thought, all right, the bigger exits make more sense for Bitcoin instead for EURUSD. But the data showed that the bigger exits actually worked better with this strategy for the EURUSD. And Bitcoin a lot of times, multiple times, most of the times gives the 1-to-1 and then reverses. With EURUSD, if you put the 1-to-2 or even the 1-to-3 with this strategy, in the long term, you will make more. The frequency of hitting the take profit will be lower, but since the risk to reward is hit more than Bitcoin, you will make more on EURUSD with bigger exits instead of doing that on Bitcoin. And this is a perfect example of that because look, the market extended to the 1-to-1.04 and then look, price literally reversed to mitigate the stops that were trapped on that low. This is something that happens a lot, all right? It, by coincidence, happened today also, so I showed you. But it's very important that you guys understand that because some of you ask, Charlie, but why only for a 1-to-1? Because that's what the price gives with this strategy. Sure, I have other strategies with Bitcoin that I go for more exit. I have other strategies with EURUSD that I go for more risk to reward. But if with this specific system, the 1-to-1 shows the best performance and the best expected value, that's what you have to go for, right? So Guys, with this being said, on the description of the video, you also have the link to my Instagram. You can talk to my DMs, ask for a spot for you on the private group of students, have access to this type of live analysis sessions, have access to the intensive course and go from 0 to 100 with this strategy, and also to the app with all the market ideas on crypto, forex, and the rest of the markets. With this being said, family, see you on the next videos. Let's go.